Hi, it's Karen from hippofrogdesigns.co.uk. Welcome to today's top tips, tricks and techniques from my craft desk. Today's video demonstrates how to make a ribbon swoosh. As you can see, today's project has a swoosh of ribbon behind the sentiment. There are probably lots of different ways to achieve this swoosh, but this is the way that I've found works for me and how I teach them. First, make sure whatever top piece you are planning on sticking over your swoosh is prepared. Mine's ready here with some dimensionals on the back. Then you'll need to find your piece of ribbon. I tend to take about 3 times the size of where I want the ribbon to go. So 3 times the width of this piece of card, and that should give me my correct length. You can either cut it off, or you can leave it attached to the reel if you prefer. I prefer to actually do this because it's easier to move it around. Then take a piece of tear and tape and stick it from top to bottom behind where your top piece will cover. So if you can see, I've drawn a pencil line here and here to show me where I need to put my tear and tape. It is important to stick it top to bottom rather than side to side, and it will become clear when we start sticking it together. My piece of tear and tape is now attached, so you'll just need to remove the top piece and take your piece of ribbon. Now, what we need to do with this piece of ribbon is make sure it's not twisted. So we need to kind of make a loop the loop with it. So how I tend to do that is like so. So can you see that the center piece, the center loop actually lays flat? You can do a loop the loop like this, or you can sort of fold it. So you take and go over, and then you go under that piece, and that makes sure that this middle loop is on top. If we had a twist in the ribbon, like so, you'll see that the center loop is actually in the middle, and that's not what we want. We want it to be on top. So this end is actually the top piece, and we don't want that. So we want to make sure that we have our center loop in the middle. So if you were to hold it like this, there would be no twists in it. So now you've got your untwisted loop, take one of the ends and pop it onto a piece of the tear and tape. I tend to sort of try and overhang the edge a little bit, and then pop the other end towards the top of your piece of tear and tape, so it's leaving a gap in the middle. And you can put these closer or further apart depending on your preference. And then what you're going to do is you're going to press this center loop into the middle. And what that's done is that has now created your swoosh. Now, if you wanted to change the angle of the loop, or if your loop's not quite big enough, make sure you check first with your top piece, and then you'll see whether things are in the right place or not. So you could angle this, so rather than it going straight across, you could take your angle like so. And then you've got more of a swooshy effect. If you wanted, you could paste the whole thing at an angle. So this is why I like to use tear and tape, because I can move it to my heart's content until I'm absolutely satisfied with where I want everything. So pop that there, and that can go on there like so. So this is at an angle across the page. I quite like that. Or a bit straighter. As you can see, our ribbon is laying flat rather than all twisted. So it could go like so. So it's entirely up to you where you want to put your ribbon, which angles you want to use. If you want to make it further apart, then you can. If you want to move them closer together, you can. Just make sure you leave enough tear and tape so that you can put this loop, you can stick this loop down. When you're happy with how your loop looks, then just attach your top piece. I tend to use dimensionals on my top piece so that it can actually sit on top of the ribbon. Then tidy up the ends of the ribbon and add any embellishments you want. And here is the finished project. I hope you enjoyed this video and will be using a ribbon swoosh on your next project. I'll pop a link to the blog post that has all the details of the items I've used for today's project in the description below this video. Head to hippofrogdesigns.co.uk for more project ideas. See you soon.